and welcome to this month's edition of the Roundup. In today's video, we're going to be looking at some of the webinars that we put on in July 2015. We've chosen 4 for you, and if any of them look interesting, you can watch them in full. Just click the hyperlink, which you'll find in the description below the YouTube video. So the first webinar we're going to talk to you about this month is our hot topic, which was on computer-assisted review, and Matt's going to chat a bit about that.
That's right, so Andrew Haslam came in again to do this one. He was joined by David Greenwood, Emma Kettleton and Susanna Clamp, and they talked about all the issues in relation to computer-assisted review, the barriers to use and the ways in which you're able to save your client money by using this.
In summary, technology-assisted review, computer-assisted review, it's the same thing, different terminology, but effectively it's a process, it's not a technology, it's not a magic red button. I think in our experience, Susanna and David, we are going to be talking about relativities, technology-assisted review, but there are other softwares that do the same thing. And I think effectively, and you alluded to this, Andrew, the process is summarised as having a lawyer being a subject matter expert, in the issues relating to identifying relevant and irrelevant documents, is used to train the software on the issues of relevance.
Those of you working in-house may be interested in this month's webinar on Key Employment Law Roundup. We were joined by Christine Young from Herbert Smith Freehills and Sarah Henshaw from Allen and Overy, and they talked about a wide variety of topics, including holiday pay, shared parental leave, whistleblowing, and other recent case law developments. And here they are discussing shared parental leave.
But it does flag up quite how flexible this arrangement is, and that you could have a mother who's on maternity leave and then her co-parent is then taking some of the shared parental leave, provided she's given it up early.
That can be very disruptive for the employer, can't it? Sort of having to juggle, whilst on the one hand wanting to be flexible and being supportive of these new parental rights, but actually to be able to juggle and find cover for small periods of time, particularly with the split days as well, can be very difficult.
Exactly, and I think that leads us on to the next couple of topics about discontinuous leave. So I think employers have been so used to the mother having a fixed period of leave off and then them getting cover for all of that, and now looking at, oh gosh, well, what happens if someone wants to take a month where they're working, a month not, and then a month working and a month not, and that could be very difficult for the business. And sometimes it might be fine, it just depends on the circumstances.
Our Restructuring Insolvency webinar series is in partnership with R3, and this month we covered a webinar on oil and gas. This featured Stuart Perry, David Mace and Heidi Watson, and they all came in from Clyde & Co. We're going to let them discuss why it was important to watch this one.
So we're talking to you today about oil price volatility and what legal challenges there are in the market and how parties are trying to manage that risk. We're going to do a short talk on the present state of the market, what this might mean to operators and contractors and what their legal and practical issues are at the moment. Heidi's going to talk about employment matters, and I'm going to be focusing on the issues for insolvency professionals.
There's been some discussion in the news lately surrounding Iranian nuclear agreement and the implications for sanctions, and I believe you ran a webinar on this month.
Yeah, we had a well-timed webinar actually on international sanctions, and our speakers came in from DECA. They were all experts in the field of sanctions, and they looked at, in particular, the Iranian and the Russian sanctions regimes, what some of the challenges are for businesses and some developments that we can expect over the next 12 months. And here they are explaining a little bit about the webinar.
We cover a general overview of why sanctions are imposed by governments, how they work, who they apply to, how they're enforced, and the penalties involved. Joe then expands on sanctions in the context of Russia and Ukraine, what is in effect, some of the issues posed to companies trying to comply with those sanctions, and the prospects for the future. Roger then talks us through the existing measures in place on Iran, and in particular looks at the prospects for the joint comprehensive programme of action just agreed last week.
So that's about all the time we have this month. We'll be back in September. If you don't yet subscribe to us and you'd like to, you can go to our website, you can send us an email, or you can follow us on Twitter.
Thanks for watching.